Okay, to start out, there's a few things that you want to grease. This is the pan that you want. It's a 9x13. You can use one like this or you can use glass. So I am going to spray this, and you should do it over the sink or over the trash. I'm going to do it right here so I can show you how, but if you can, do it over the sink or the trash. So just get all the sides. Try not to get it everywhere. Okay? And that can be set aside for later. Okay, now our measuring cup. Remember, when you're measuring something sticky, you just want to grease the inside of this. So I'm just going to spray the inside of this pretty good. If you don't have spray, you can use butter and just wipe it on the inside and just kind of get it all around. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is measure 1 cup of this corn syrup, and I'm going to try and get some of the excess out of here. 1 cup, so should pour in pretty easily. Remember to get down at the level of the cup. Make sure that it's good, it looks good. Then we're gonna add this into, and I don't have this pan on yet, but I have a stock pot that's big like this. You need it to be big like this, otherwise when you go to mix the Rice Krispies in, it's going to be difficult. Okay, so let's see if I can set this up here. I'm just gonna dump all this in, and it should come out pretty easily now. You can use a rubber spatula to get all of the excess, but most of it should come out. Okay, again, I don't have this on yet until I get everything into it. Next, I'm pouring in 1 cup of sugar, and I leveled that off. Now I'm going to measure 1.5 cups of peanut butter. And again, if you want to grease this, your 1 cup, you can grease it so that the peanut butter comes out a little bit easier. Then we're just gonna dump that in and we'll turn the stove on. Okay, so I have everything mixed in there now, the corn syrup, the sugar, and the peanut butter, and I have this on medium heat now. And so what I'm going to do is just let this cook. I'll use something to stir it with. Probably just a wooden spoon is fine. And you want the peanut butter to melt down. Now you need to be really careful with this because it will burn pretty easily. So I'm just gonna stir it up. We want the peanut butter to melt down. And then you're going to slowly bring it to a boil, but try and get it to medium first. It'll take a little bit. Okay, once this is a smooth texture and it is kind of boiling, then we will take it off of the heat and we will add the cereal. So 6 cups of cereal. Melting, while this is melting down, I am just stirring it continuously, checking on it, making sure that it's not burning. Okay, I've also measured out the 1/2 cup of chocolate chips and 1/2 cup of butterscotch chips. You don't want to turn the heat on for those until it tells you in the recipe, but you can always measure it out while you're waiting for this to melt down. Okay, now with this, since I used spray, it got kind of blotchy, so what I'm going to do is just kind of wipe the grease all over. Make sure to get the corners really well, okay? So that when you're ready to actually put everything in there, it's ready to go. Okay, make sure that you are scraping the bottoms to get all of the sticky stuff off. You don't want that stuff to burn. This is getting really close to being ready. When I stop stirring it, it starts bubbling up a little bit. Okay, once it starts to come to a boil, then we'll add the Rice Krispies. So continue to mix it, let it rest for a second, see if it's boiling. If it's not, then keep doing it. Okay, this is looking pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is leave it on for about another minute, and then I'm going to start adding the Rice Krispies. Okay, so we are going to start adding the Rice Krispies. I'm just measuring it straight out of the bag. 1, 2, 3, 3. And you can do a heaping cup. 4. 5. 'Sorry, that's on timer for something else. And 6. Okay, now that I have all 6 cups in, I'm just going to mix it all up. You need to do this while it's nice and hot. Okay. So this is what it looks like when it's complete. Now I am going to, let's see if I can do this. Just start adding it in. Might not be strong enough to hold all of this. I'll spoon it in. Okay, you want to do it while it's hot so you can work with it. Now the recipe says to use your hands to push it down. If it's too hot, just use a spoon. Okay, and as soon as you are done with this, you want to get your pan soaking in water. Otherwise, it is going to really stink to clean out. Okay. Okay, so I have everything in the pan now. And I just grabbed a smaller spoon, and because this is too hot right now, I'm just going to use a spoon instead of my fingers. Don't burn yourselves. Just use a spoon. Okay, and you just want to even everything out. Once you get this done, then we're going to turn the chocolate chips and butterscotch chips on medium. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, make sure that you wash these very carefully. They will burn super, super quickly. So you're gonna wanna continuously stir them once they start to melt. And as soon as they're melted, you're just going to pour them right on top of your flattened out Rice Krispie mix. You can let these cool for a little while and then you can serve them. Okay, I actually ended up adding another ½ cup of each, the chocolate chips and the butterscotch chips because it really didn't look like enough. So if you have extra, like if you got a new bag, then feel free to do the same. I'm just melting it down now and it's almost ready. Once all of the chunks are out of there, just make sure that you don't start burning things. Again, these burn really easily. Okay, so it looks pretty smooth. I'm gonna turn that off. And now, let me make sure that you can see this. I'm just going to get everything out. And I will use a rubber spatula here in just a second. You don't want to cook with the rubber. Sometimes if it gets too hot, it can start to melt. So try and get everything out here and we'll start. And this is with double. So again, I would double it if I were you. I don't eat these, but my husband loves them. And we'll send him to school with them for some of the teachers. So if you can, add an extra ½ cup of each chocolate chips and the butterscotch chips. Because as you can see, I doubled it and it is just enough. Okay. Get that little extra out. And then what you're gonna do is just let these sit until they kind of cool off and set. And once that is done, then you can cut them in squares and enjoy them.